Whoa! What's good, everyone? What is most certainly good? It's your boy Officer Falk, driving on the Beltway from Target, smoking on not even an LFD, an acid cubic grand today. Smoking on this acid. Which is incredible. And freaking credible. I know today is going to be a rant. And I'm going to warn you. For everybody listening to this rant live or the playback, it's going to have a lot of explicit language, a lot of suggestive themes. And yes, my thoughts may be jumbled together, split apart, atomized even. But I'm going to get my point across. Because I really got to get some shit off my chest. Really do. Been busy this week, couldn't do the live streams I wanted. But I really have to say some shit that's been itching at your boy. I'm really going to say a few things that I've noticed throughout my years. May seem a little grandioso, maybe arrogant, but not one person could ever say, I didn't know what the hell I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, that may be part of my fucking struggle in the first place. Charles Sr., my father used to tell me as a 4 or 5-year-old boy, son, you got this natural intelligence about you, and we're trying to cultivate it. Your intelligence is going to be your greatest strength and also your greatest burden. The reason why, son, is because you're going to talk about stuff that hardly anybody has ever gotten the comprehension to truly understand it. It's going to seem foreign. It's going to seem weird. So people who can't understand something makes fun of it, fear it, and hate it. It's going to be a burden that you may have to be the person to carry others through. And this is part of my struggle, my rant. I've truly had to get a puff of that cigar. I truly understand from 3 conversations. I truly understand the Black community more so than previous weeks or months or years before. Here it goes. When you explain to a female friend of yours who you've known since the 3rd grade, the condition on how the everyday Black woman treats the everyday Black man, treats her everyday Black sons, yes, you may have exceptions to the rule, and thank God we do. Mwah. Kisses and hugs and love and flowers to all the women who do it right. You know what the fucked up part about it is? There's not even close to enough of you to make a dent. Thank God that you save the ones you can save. I said, how can you say all these black mothers love their black boys, but when they get to the 8th grade, only 10% can read on level? I will tell you this much. If women thought, especially in our community, God damn it, especially in our, if you thought about your sons as much as you thought about your damn degrees, if you picked men like you would go diligently to class, you would be undefeated. You would be. And this same friend was like, no, you got a lot of hate in your heart. Why is it that if a man has a critique of female behavior, why is it considered hate? But I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 82. It was okay back in the late 90s, excuse me, the late 80s, early 90s, hell, even to the mid 90s. How long was it okay to say niggas ain't shit? And not one person batted a damn eye. Not one. But you bring up a critique about a certain section of women, you hate them. This is the same chick who told me her son, who's about what, 11, 12 years old, says he doesn't really care for black girls because they're so damn mean. What the hell does that tell you? I mean, logic be damned. But yet, you don't think that's shit to concern because, one, it's not you. It's something your son has to deal with. Here's the crazy part. How many mothers are teaching their daughters to manipulate men, but how many mothers will not teach their sons about the manipulative powers that women possess? This is the reason why your boy's undefeated in debates, because I turn the argument into the lowest common denominator. The shamefulness of it is that you're not even talking to other mothers, your daughters, other people's daughters, to say, what the fuck is going on? You don't want anybody to call you out on your bullshit. You don't want anybody to say anything. I could go to a man and ask, why did you fuck up? Why were you out there selling drugs? Either I'm going to get, I just wanted to fit in, I needed the money, or it was the popular thing to do. At least we'll get a tangible response. When you ask a direct question, you deserve a direct answer. And that's one of the greatest fucking failures. The greatest. But I hate black women. Because why? I open it up and tell you, wait a minute, shit doesn't make sense. But we're supposed to forgive all your transgressions, not look at your body count, ignore your lies. For what? And what do we get out of return? Your fucking contempt? Your rebellious nature? The miseducation of our boys? The incarceration of our men? What do we get out of all the burdens we take on and protect you from? And oh yeah, I'm going to name some people. And y'all could go tell these motherfuckers today, because you know what? If people say they want smoke, well, motherfucker, call me Johnny Storm and flame the fuck on. Here it is, right? You got people on YouTube like Nyla, like Cynthia G, who talk about abort black male babies, which is the most asinine shit that I've ever heard. But yet, those bitches get to have 70,000 fucking subscribers. And not one damn time was it called hate speech. Where BGS Itmore can put up something from literature 100 years ago and it can get flagged for hate speech. Get the complete and utter fuck out of here. One, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if black men disappeared from America. You become America's whipping boy. You don't elevate up, you go even further down. But yet, you know, Cynthia, you asked this question a while ago and frequently. What do black men build? Black men build the wall of protection that you dummies can't even see. And the good black women know it, appreciate it, and love their men for it, and give their men the best of themselves. But hatred breeds, because nothing born out of hate can never produce love. You could quote me on that one. Nothing born out of hate can produce love. And notice, I don't hate black women. I have a strong critique. But over and over, the same friend of mine, I gave her an article from 1991 when a black female lawyer won a lawsuit against an all-male black boy school and said, well, it's sexist. Girls fail too. To the fucking point of what black men go through? No! But you don't find it sexist to have something black girls rock? What's the fucking male equivalent? Because every time we tried to build one, we don't worry about the Klan anymore. We don't worry about the white man. We worried about, our own women to sabotage us. Like it's Operation Valkyrie or some shit. She has yet to hit me back because of the fact of the matter is this. This is what the fuck we got. We got your dissension and you being a seditious traitor. We don't get your respect. We don't even get your honor. I don't even think we actually truly get love. We're only lovable when we're useful. Here's the shameful part about it. When you come to think about it, 40 years the United States government put into motion to finance females' education and tamp down the boys. And they wonder why your country has grown stagnant for the last 40 years. Because you find out a very factual subject. Women do not push the country forward. It's always going to be the men. So if you're not developing at the age of these boys are so young, and if you're not developing them and cultivating them, educating them properly, and putting them in male spaces where they can learn to become competitive, you basically have grown the stagnation of a country. And anything that's stagnant dies. It's toxic. Nothing worth or anything of value can live in it. You jackass, why the fuck you trying to turn over here? People can't fucking drive these days. But here's the question, because I always get this. Well, why aren't the men doing it? It always falls to that excuse. What are the men doing? Why the fuck you keeping the men away from their children? Why the fuck are you? Well, the men weren't that, they were deadbeat. Once again, what men judge the guys you date? Who vet them? You see what happens when Little Red Riding Hood go into the damn forest by herself? Yeah, she's gonna be a young old lady tomorrow. John, thank you. Well, he did do a nice job wiping the windows. Here it is, right? My frustration begins because during this conversation I had with her, which was yesterday, happy Veterans Day to all my veterans. I owe you guys a Veterans Day celebration and speak and talk and panel. It's always, what does the man do? Why? I'm like this. Do y'all even think? Y'all the only culture that thinks children don't need fathers. And then you wonder why you breed fuck ups. You wonder why you breed fuck ups. It's sad. Shout out to Ron Wills, because he used to work in criminal justice, and he said it when he did his Insecure video, which was the reason why the discussion was had when I was waiting for my peoples. Shout out to my father, my nephew, and my aunt, who are veterans as well. When are you going to give these boys back to their fathers? To do the same thing every day expecting a different result is insanity. When are you going to do something different? Until you realize you like your insanity. You like your so-called power. You don't give a damn if your son can read or not. As long as that fucking government check is coming, as long as that child support is coming. And here's the crazy part. How many women in our community are getting child support or some type of government assistance? And why are these kids going to the worst schools? You couldn't put that money towards a private school, a parochial Catholic Christian? No, because you got them in a fucking urban jungle. I'm a single. I could do bad all by myself. And you have. You have done terribly all by yourself. We're not producing great men. Not on the scale we're supposed to be. We're regressing, not progressing. We're progressing. I've always said this. Anytime you take a good long look at reality set before you, there's always some motherfucker who's going to swear up and down you're lying. It's right here in the journals. There's a very large percentage of men who come from single mother homes that are in prison. Have you noticed the correlation between daddy at home, less likely, way less likely to go to prison? Have you noticed daddy at home or heavily involved or the kids live with daddy? There's hardly any physical or sexual abuse to the children. It's cut down significantly. FBI statistics said you're 3 to 5 times more likely to be sexually abused or physically abused as a child in a single mother home than a single father or a two-parent household. Daddy keeps the bad people away. Daddy keeps the world in line. But then I'm going to switch off a little bit. Talking to a female friend of mine, on again, off again, on again, off again shit. She talks about, we're talking about, her situation between her daughter's father and her. And she wanted me to go to this damn place, blasey, 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 argue, 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 multiple times. And she said she was going to buy the tickets. The agreement was you get the tickets, I get the dinner. Fair, fair. Wait a minute, there's more, like the OxyClean man said, because modern women, if they can do one thing perfectly, they can fuck up a wet dream. They can fuck up a wet dream and a free lunch. And they'll do so at the greatest expense. They'll do so at the greatest expense. And you know this, she said, well, are you gonna make sure you're gonna go? Because I don't want to waste my time and my money. I said, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna waste my time and my money. I'm gonna go. But even shout out to Mr. Mike. Probably the best barber in the state. Makes miracles out of my beard and shaves my bald head till it's like reflective. Even he said by the third time I started to get fucking irritated. When you do this 12 times in a row, now you're being a dumbass and a smart one. A smart ass, really. And I told her, look, barring one of my parents, God forbid, has to be rushed to the hospital or my son being rushed to the hospital, I would go. Well, I don't think that's not a good enough answer. You're saying that if you go to the hospital for your parents or your son, that's not an emergency. I said, wait a minute, chick. I don't know how you play the games, but how I feel about mine, that's an emergency. But wait, it gets even better. Gets even fucking better, folks. I said, what if I, at the spur of the moment, say, I want to take you out for lunch or dinner? Well, I got a 3-year-old. So wait a minute. You got to consider with the 3-year-old and you want to use that excuse, but I'm not allowed to talk about my parents nor my son. how the Jamaican call the African black is beyond me. And I said, you're using a poor excuse. But yet, I know one thing about a woman above all. You motherfuckers will make time for anything you want to do, regardless of kids or whatnot. You will find a babysitter like you're looking for the lost continent of Atlantis. Let's get the fuck out of here with that. Now, I'm already like irritated because the content of my words was lost on her. And the fucked up part about it was I'm basically telling you that I would go barring a rare emergency. But when you try to tell people this shit, information and content be damned. The fucked up part about it is when during this same conversation, she's talking about, well, I got to go through this with my daughter's father and blasey, blasey, blasey. I'm like, okay. Well, I helped him get his license, helped did his resume. I said, okay. Why do you chicks always want to deal with these Build-A-Bear niggas? Like you got to put the stuffing in, you got to get the license, you got to make them dress different, but you never go for the men who don't need the help. They're already building or they already built what they're going to do. And it dawned on me for the simple fact because the man who's already built or is in the process of building, you can't tell him what to do. There are no strings on him. There is no dominion above him. So that man who's building and doesn't need you can tell you very easily to go fuck yourself and find a better woman than you. But I had to ask her this question. What type of men do you look for? What qualities do you look for? Well, tall, dark skin. No, not physical attributes. Quality. What attributes do they have when it comes to their personality, their intellect, and all this other shit? A buildable or children? You goddamn right, master teacher. Shout out to BGS. I believe he's going on live later. And this is the point that really took a turn. Because I said, look, if you were going with a guy that the men of your family or a man that you respect who's wiser and older than you vet this guy, they would have told you never to fuck with him in the first place. But you know modern women, hell, you know black women, man, I ain't got to listen to nobody. But then when it come to your ass to save you, when they deep in their head of this nigga whooping their ass, you don't want to be with a guy who's competent because he can actually tell you about yourself, and that ain't a damn thing you could do about it. There's a lot of times I've dated women, there ain't shit you could tell me about raising a child. Tell Anton Daniels, there ain't shit he could tell me about raising a child. I've been doing it by myself for 14 fucking years. Just like that dumbass midget. What experience do you have about women? Nigga, you've been with the same woman for 17 years and probably even longer. I've been dealing with more women than a carp has pills. So I'm an expert in women and their bullshit and their greatness. My father always taught me all women got bullshit with them. It's the one you can take. If you can't take her bullshit, don't be with her. Everybody on earth has their little quirks. Me, you, anybody. But yet, none of these women realize when you build a nigga, that nigga starts to leave you. Because he's looking for bigger and better things because he thinks he's bigger and better now because you put the initiative into him. You can someone in the chat answer this for me? Why do you put all your eggs on a fucking maybe, but not a certainty? Why? Why? Oh, why? Oh, why? Is because I'm gonna tell you why. You want that motherfucker to always be indebted to you instead of the other way around. You always want him to be holding you up like you're the god of earth. Of course, stupid is as stupid does. And the shameful part about this is that you want, as soon as shit breaks up, you want child support. You didn't learn from the first time. If he has a previous child, that's a very good indicator of how he's going to treat the child with you. If he's never had his first child for a long period of time, and there was always some major conflict between him and that child's mother, maybe you shouldn't deal with that. But what do I know? I'm just some cop. Maybe, just maybe, if I had a guy vet this motherfucker, I probably would be able to actually make a decision before a baby ever came about. But no, even the good book said lean not to your own understanding. And that's the problem. The true essence of knowledge is when you truly understand you know absolutely nothing. That's the true statement of knowledge. When you know you don't know shit. When you admit that you don't know anything, people are going to be more willing to help you. No, I got it. I can do bad all by myself. Prove it. Oh, I'm sorry. You already have. But then, we got to realize the one rule of conversations: hit dogs always holler. Well, what about you? We never went out yet. Um, maybe because I'm busy doing shit. Maybe I'm filling out for disability. Maybe I got shit that I got to do too. And by the time you pick up your daughter from daycare, you pick up your son from football practice, and maybe it slipped my mind. But you always keep your life so formatted because you got your 3-year-old, which you told me verbatim that you always have a babysitter, not including your son. You always can find a way. If you want to go to a concert, if you want to go to whatever, study, job, training, you're gonna go. You're gonna make a way. It always boils down to what is worth your time. Because me personally, I don't have time to waste. This is the modern fucking woman in all their glory. Regardless if I deal with them or not. This is the shit that Anton Daniels will never tell you. Oh, you got to alpha your way in. Money does not buy loyalty. Can someone put that in the chat? Money does not buy loyalty. It does not buy obedience. It does not buy submission. It does not buy any love. Will Smith is worth over 400 mil. Look at his wife. Anton, you really think that you matching wallets with Will Smith? Hell and no. See, guys like you have to dress fancy. All I got to do is exist. That's all I got to do. You got to dress fancy for a woman to even think about it. All I got to do is walk out my house and she's saying hello. That's how I know women more than you. I'm an honest motherfucker. I tell the truth. That alpha your way through shit doesn't work for not a damn person. All it does is put you in an early fucking grave for a bunch of ungrateful bitches who are going to live 40, 50 years beyond you. And not one motherfucker is ever going to thank you for putting in all the sweat equity, for getting all the shit that they enjoy. The only thing in most of these fucking marriages that will ever continue after the divorce is usually what? The life insurance policy. Most of these bitches are just waiting for you to kick the bucket so they could cash it on you. But they couldn't take the time to make their fucking marriage work. What has proven to me without a shadow of a doubt, black women do not believe in husbands. They do not believe that men are part of their family. They don't believe in raising their sons properly. Can we all agree that that's a consensus fact? Because the statistics and the proof would prove otherwise. Your crime rate would prove otherwise. Your colleges would prove otherwise when it comes to enrollment. The progression of your sons will prove otherwise. I'm going to tell you something. Why give a motherfucker the world if they don't appreciate it? You literally heard people like Jada Pinkett Smith, and I've already knew something was fucked up about their marriage when she hyphenated her name. Yes, another fellow Baltimorean. This man was in blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster. Will Smith at one time printed money. Okay? Still can. He was marvelous in Ali. He should have got an award for that. And he's going to be marvelous in this King Richard movie. What was the one with what was the one movie when he was the guy trying to look for work and his son was sleeping in the stalls in the bathrooms? Why the fuck didn't he get an award for that movie? When you show black men with their children going through the goddamn struggle, nobody wants to promote our fucking stories. Oh, trust me. When I meant my struggle, I meant it. When I meant my rant, I fucking meant it. Here it is. You got an ungrateful bitch of a wife who says, I don't even know if you love me, trying to embarrass this man. Why the fuck don't you miserable bitches just go to a forest and die alone instead of trying to bring everybody around you down with you? Just have the decency to leave. But you can't because you know nobody will hire you without that man say so. I thought you could do bad all by yourself. Thank you. Pursuit of happiness. It's a goddamn shame. It's a goddamn shame that the only time, that majority of the time I get respect by women is when I shit on them. I mean, really say and do what the fuck I please with hardly any, if any, remorse. That's when you want to fuck you. You respect me. Last time I checked, I'm a human being, not a human doing. Okay? I'm a human being. I should be respected at least for being alive, at least for being a person, at least for being a sentient being. No, Mr. Z, I didn't say Mein Kampf, which is the actual title of the book. And I might even try to read that book just to dwell into this guy's mind to be like, what makes this motherfucker so sick? Yes. See, Hitler should have never wrote Mein Kampf. It should have been a black man who wrote My Struggle. Because it seems like everybody tiptoes around their struggle. We're the least educated. We're the most incarcerated. We're the most homeless, downtrodden. But we're supposed to do everything that no other man in the history of this country is supposed to do and pull himself up by his bootstraps. How can I possibly do that when and only when I'm barefoot? Beer hall, like, no, no, this is a rant. This is what I struggle with every fucking day. This is what I struggle with. I believe in families. My parents were even married. Do you think it does not bother me that my son is not in a two-parent household now? Yes, that shit gets to me sometimes. That shit gets to me sometimes. But I have to do what I have to do. Like I told that dumbass Anton, regardless if I married his mother or not, do I still have a responsibility of raising this boy? That doesn't lessen it. If anything, it heightens the fact that I have to be there. It's something that really fucks with me inside. And I'm like, all you women can't choose from the pile of men who didn't have children, the 64% who are in the middle class, the 54% who don't have children and unmarried. What type of struggle love are you into? Because this ramble may go on a little longer. Because I have to say something about the whole thing as well with the roguish thing from the Roger Report. See, here's the other thing I've been struggling with, especially in this community that we call Black. Why is it amazing for a Black guy to say he never had any, especially before he was a cop, he never had any bad run ins with the police? Yeah, I know there were some assholes. There might have been some guys who might have had a little whatever, but it's been respectful. I don't even think my friends had really any bad run ins with the police. And nigga, we ran the streets. I still live in East Baltimore. I got more hassled by the cops when I became a cop. I got pulled over more as a cop than before a cop. But you know what's funny? One, you don't have anybody wanting to be cops and take the power that they allow white people to take. Well, there's not enough of, shut up and try. I'm going to tell you the same thing everybody else would tell you. Shut up and try. You're giving me that old song and dance, that old rigmarole, instead of trying. Niggas don't want power. They just want to cry about it. When you give niggas solutions about how to overcome their issues, how to obtain power, how to be respected, nobody wants it. Nope. How many people, when Cerulean and myself came out with the Gray Faulkner Initiative, were supportive of it? Everybody wanted, well, you think that we're going to get power? We join the military, fire, and police? Yes. Yes, you will. If you make a whole constituency out of those fucking three areas alone, and you put America in debt to you for protecting it, you're going to get something out the deal. Look at the LGBT community. When Barack, for his second term, was looking for funding, guess what? Mr. I think marriage in his first term was for a man and a woman only. Changed this tune very quickly when he received that money, huh? But being a military man myself, I understand strategy, the short, the mid, and the long term. One thing you always realize, he who pays rules. You're right. Niggas really really have no patience to get shit done. And you know why? Because you don't understand the masculine art to play chess and not checkers. At some point, you graduate even from chess to play Risk. Don't forget to hit the like button and hit that Cash App too. Nobody wants to see a solution. Everybody wants to whine about the problems. Even in the Gray Faulkner Initiative, it gives a role for the women to play. If the women are getting the majority of their degrees, why aren't we getting more lawyers to get brothers from going to jail in the first place or getting them out from nonviolent nonviolent crimes? If the offender is being held in jail for years for something that's nonviolent, why not get them another chance? Isn't this the land of opportunity and second chances? Last time I checked, them guys who sold weed on the corner, not everybody was trying to be Tony Montana, but there are some brothers who trying to make a buck. Why not get them and finance them to open up a distillery for their weed, a little shop? Make sure they're licensed, make sure everything they do is on the up and up. Why don't you give them a hand up? But it was okay 10 years ago locking these motherfuckers up, wasn't it? Hmm. But yet, once again, if you had more brothers who empathized and was in those positions and can mentor young men for getting off the corners because it's so fucking tempting. Once again, we can always circle back to the no daddy at home. See, no one understands this because when boys get to a certain age, they're going to try to find someone who they can emulate their masculine principles from. They're going to join hunting parties, i.e., friends, gangs, fraternities, clubs, to be around like-minded people for networking, protection, finance, and other ventures that carries on in life to give them a fighting chance or a better chance. Now, when you take that father who's supposed to be in that house where you never let your sons live with the man, you know what you do? You just open him up to the streets. You might as well tell the streets, here you go. Here you go. Oh, yeah, by the way, access at allies is pretty damn good. I don't think he was ever anti LGBT, but he stated out of his mouth that he believes that marriage was only for a man and a woman. So I got to go by that, see? So we would rather our boys be on the street than take up positions of power where they need us. Here in Baltimore, they need 1,000 officers. They say on the news 500, they need 1,000, maybe even 1,500. There are qualified black men who can start off making $50,000 to $55,000 a year. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to be encouraged. No, the police are mercenaries. No, the police are not soldiers for hire from a foreign land to fight on behalf of the United States. No, that's not a mercenary. They're not mercenaries. There are some actions that are quite insidious that are done by certain cops, but that's not all of them. Is there a certain culture? Yes. But the only way you change culture is if you get more people thinking of your culture to take over. Nobody swings a home run sitting on the sidelines. Sorry. More and more, you think you're not a part of the system. More and more, the system is going to show you something differently. I've said this for what? Since January 6th with the insurrection. White people literally gave you the keys to the kingdom because they can't even trust their own anymore. But we're still slow to react, though. But I understand where that comes from. I understand completely. It's that somebody else is going to handle it type of shit. That's all. It's not my problem syndrome. You know how basically for a whole year, how little children could be stuck in the house and not one person even bothers to knock on the house to see if those kids are okay. But if those were girls, they wouldn't have spent one fucking day. And those boys had to sit with the horror of having their brother wrapped in a blanket, rotting. But I'm not supposed to have a struggle against that. I'm not supposed to rant against that. I'm not supposed to feel shit. I'm getting sick and tired. Sick and fucking tired of this shit. And I've seen shit like this close up and constantly, we have our children who are in fucking bondage. I'm the motherfucker who tell you black men need their own political party. For some godforsaken reason. I know they're going to have people in the little comment section when the video's done. Oh, you're being emotional. I'm a human being. I have emotions. I'm passionate right now. Not one damn person can challenge me on that fucking shit. I'm tired of this shit. We either got a black man who's too damn effeminate to bust a grape or a black man who's too overly emotional and people die around him. But yet, we still have all this, well, what about the girls bullshit going around? But yet, the girls are being sent off. They're being put out of the danger. That whole case right there proves to you what the black community feels about black boys. Notice the family members took the girls, but let the boys to fucking rot, figuratively and literally. The community left those boys to rot, figuratively and literally. I'm sorry, black men. We got to take our shit back. This is the part I fault us. I fault black men for believing the bullshit that we've been sold for the past 150 fucking years. It's our fault for not calling out a seditious traitor when you had the opportunity to do so. There should be hundreds, thousands, if not millions of black men demanding on the steps of fucking Washington. So where's our American dream? There should be millions of black men making a fucking party demanding that you change these draconian laws that we call court appointed extortion, aka child support. They should change on the books to give more black men custody for their kids. But it shows either two things. Either you don't give a fuck or you love being the underclass. Which one is it? Pick a struggle, please. But nobody gives a fuck. Here's the problem. Here's one of the biggest problems that's going to come about forming a black male party, because black men have proven, not all but too damn many, they don't know who to fucking cast out of the group. If you betray my trust, you were likely to get me killed. Sorry. You know the one thing I appreciate about Haiti? The one thing I appreciate about the Haitian community? They have no problems getting rid of their traitors. They will cast a motherfucker out quick. You ain't leaving quick enough. The machetes will come out. Shit. They don't give a damn. If you betray us, fuck you. There ain't no coming back. That's the one thing I appreciate about the Haitians, man. No fucks given, no quarter taken. Too many of our fucking kids are in bondage. Niggas, we gotta be like Moses. Let my children go. You might have to do what Charles Faulkner, man. Fuck you. Give me my kids. You're doing a poor job. The grades are shitty. You got them in a shitty neighborhood. It's violent. It's rat infested, roach infested, crime infested. Give me my damn kids so they can have a fighting chance. A lot of brothers need to say, you know what? Fuck your child support money. You ain't got shit to give any damn way. Give me my damn kids. Too many damn people afraid to draw a line in the sand. Where's your standards, black men? Where the fuck are they? Because we sure as shit gonna need them in the the next few years. If COVID hasn't shown you shit, it's shown you how valuable you are to the country. It's shown that how valuable you are to the community. But yet, we still got motherfuckers who say, Well, there's a chance. No, you get the black women who are willing to follow. I'm not into the business of telling black men forcing a bitch to follow. No, the reason why it's submissive is because she does it willingly. Submission has to be a willing thing. It has to be a willing, chosen object. It has to be freely given. If she does it because she needs it, that's not submission, folks. That's called biding your time. Splatterhouse, may you continue to fight, and may we give you energy to get your damn son, man. And guess what? I'm not into interracial dating. If that's your thing, I don't judge. But find a woman that's right for you. Find a woman that's right for you. Hell, you go to fucking Africa. There's 10 times the black women over probably 1,000 times the black women over there than what we got in America. These women over here pricing themselves out. Now, there are some good women still over here. Yes, we're gonna have our due diligence and look for them, as any man would. But at the same time, when you find this woman, what are your unconditionals? I don't know what yours are, but I'm pretty sure black men start writing these motherfuckers down. Type it out, print it out, put it on the fucking door of your house. Put it on the back of your door. Put it in your bedroom door. Put it somewhere on the wall so you can see that motherfucker and remind yourself that you are the shit no matter what. This is what I stand for, and I'm not gonna break my word or my balls for anybody. Shout out to Scarface. All I got is my word and my balls. Excuse me for a minute, folks. You do know what the peanuts said? What the peanuts said? Go in. Just knock on the door. Knock on the door. This is what people need to really understand. That black men are getting tired of being pushed around. They're tired of being the whooping boy of the country. They're gonna be like, fuck this behavior, and fuck you. What happens, black women, if you push your men in the community and they go to Africa and start marrying women from the continent? No other race of man is checking for you like that. You better take us while we're still cheap. You better take us while we're still loyal. Because the generations under me, they're not vying for that race loyalty shit anymore. They judge women on how you treat them and how they respect you. They don't do it by just race loyalty. Oh, that's just black women. No, that shit's cut out. Salute to the Z's and Alphas, baby. Salute to them. They ain't taking your shit. Yeah, the Eddie Murphy, go get you a Bush bitch, right? Hit that Cash App, hit that goddamn link. Ugh, man, I'm gonna tell you, the day black men get their shit together, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna truly be like that, partying, partying. So you gotta do, see, Mr. Z, you know what? You're gonna have to do like a lot of Iraqi men. They get their women from the villages. They don't get the women from the cities. They don't get their women from the cities. They don't. They don't get their women from the cities. Even the Hispanics, they're being told, go to the old country and get a woman. You can't. If you find an ADOS woman, you're right. You need to hold her to a high standard. She must be fit. She must be caring. She must be loving, cooperative, submissive. There must be a lot that she's got to give. If she's not willing to give it, then I'm sorry. You can't date her. If she's not willing to put out effort, you can't date her. Sorry. I'm truly sorry. Because getting to the point where, why do we have to be with argumentative, rebellious women? Do we not have anything of value of ourselves? What about that guy who was on the subway and the chicks were talking about his leather jacket that they couldn't afford, trying to say it was out of date? And when that chick put their hands on him, he slapped the fire and desire out of her ass. People, oh my God, it's abusive. No, you don't do certain shit to people. You have respect for people. You treat people like a fucking human being and you get great results. There's people I arrested who thanked me and said, thank you for treating me like a human being. Because I know there's somebody, if I was with another officer, I might have got fucked up. Even the ones I had to lay my hands upon thee thanked me when I saw him because I had to arrest this guy and it was snow on the ground. It was actually New Year's Day and I was pissed because I was hungover slightly. And I had to yoke this motherfucker up for beating up his girlfriend and scaring the fuck out of their child. And I had to lock him up. I see them again around June, July, and He's thanking me like we got engaged. Thank you. I know you had to put your hands on me and you had to yoke me up, but thank you. I could have hurt my child and my fiance, and I never would have forgave myself because I was drunk and out of control. He said I went to rehab. I got a new job. I'm driving trucks. I only drink in moderation, and I'm proud of the brother. Proud of the young brother. When are we gonna be? When are we gonna actually be the stewards of our own fucking community again? You know what's funny? One day I'm gonna organize a goddamn rally to the Board of Education demanding more schools, black male schools, demanding more programs in STEM for black boys, demanding education for boys who are incarcerated, men who are incarcerated. When the fuck are we gonna make those demands? Our divine, our divine moments, our divine obsession. When the hell are we gonna be pissed off and have righteous, furious anger and direct that shit to who needs it? I'm sick and I'm fucking tired of this shit. And I, for one, vote that we should be able to do what the fuck we please. To live a peaceful life, to gain generational wealth, to be loved and respected as the men that we fought to be. You know what the beautiful thing about when people despise you is that you know where you stand with them. So when you rise up like a phoenix from the ashes, you don't have to bring them along to the journey. I've said this to people more than once. My life is like an automobile. There's enough room for people to join the journey, but that ride is just as good solo as well. Hmm. Not everybody's going to be for you, black men and black women, but we got to be for ourselves. We're all we got. We depend on each other. I'm talking to the black women who are 10 toes down for their men. Those black women who will check an unruly sister. A black woman, even if she had to divorce or separate from the father, she makes sure the father plays an intricate part. If not, not only sharing the custody with the father, but probably letting the child stay with the father majority of the time. We got to find our allies. The beautiful thing about being a black man in America, what fucking more can they do? They've enslaved us. They redlined us. They gave us Jim Crow. They gave us police brutality. What the fuck else could you do? You sent us to war. What the fuck can you do? That Bible verse, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death. What's the other line? Somebody give me that other line. Though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I shall do what? And I want you to put it in bold letters. I shall do what? Somebody finish that statement. I shall do what? Walking through the shadow of the valley of death, I shall do what? I shall fear no evil. Though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. I should fear nothing, not a goddamn thing. You put your neck, what the fuck else can you do? This is the reason why I do this shit, to make a bolder, smarter, stronger, faster, more cunning black man. Every goddamn person should be putting fear no evil. What the fuck can you do to us that hasn't already been done? You're gonna kill us? Been done. You're gonna lynch us? Been done. You're gonna deport us? It's been done. You're gonna discriminate us? What they do? Discrimination to a black man is just fucking Tuesday. Yes, black men should be as bold as a goddamn lion. You walk this land like you run this man. Chest poking out, walking terra firma like you fucking own it. What the fuck? They bombed us? You destroyed our cities? You destroyed Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Testing, testing, testing. What about now? Hopefully you can hear me now. Good to go. Uh, man, oh man, oh man. See, when you're talking that good shit, they always try to fuck with your lives. You know what I'm saying? You talking that good positive shit. Hold on for a second. See, you ever notice when you're talking that good shit to people, there's always some type of distraction people like to come on with. No sound? What about now? Let me know if we can hear me again. Okay? Good. See, it's funny. When I talk about black male empowerment, it does not mean hatred of women. We should just get that shit out there. I don't talk about hatred of women. I love black women. I wish they loved us the same way we love them. I wish they loved themselves as much as we love them. But guess what? Even during that time, there's something called tough love. And I cannot reward anybody for their bad behavior. Sorry. Black men do need their own political party. We need to understand that we are people of substance. Black men need their own political party. Until we find enough women that are going to be loyal to us, we need our own political party. Because black women, just majority of black women in this country showed you this last election, they don't give a fuck about you. And that pains us, okay? I don't take joy in saying that shit. If anybody should understand the struggles of a black man, it should be a black woman. You would think that, right? But when we look at the facts, we look at the evidence, we look at the statistics, it's contrary to popular belief. But I'm supposed to be one of those Negroes who's told that you hate us. No sound? How is it no sound? Let me try this again. What about now? Please tell me y'all can hear me. Please tell me you can hear me because there's some new shit that's happening today. It's funny how black men live a very lonely life, man. No other being in this fucking planet, especially black American men. We fought honorably for this country. We were the first to fight for this country. Let's get that shit straight. Veterans Day is really our day. But there are other races of people who fought honorably as well. So I'm good with that. But it is our day. The original veteran of this fucking country were black men. Okay. I like the quote, Mr. Z or Dr. Z is our new style column. Black people are the most American Americans, especially black men. We know the system's fucked up, but yet we still make a way. We know it. I just got off the phone with AL and I told him, I said, man, it feels like every time I get a scrap of money, I got to give it to somebody else. Robbing Peter to pay Paul and knock Tommy over the head. So when he's not looking. I'm not supposed to speak up for my people. I'm not supposed to speak up for my women. I'm not supposed to speak up for my men. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Sorry. I don't give a fuck who likes it. The least you can do. The least you can do is give us our fucking full respect. Give us families that are worth fucking dying for. Give us women who are loyal to the bone. Give us children who will bring forth a better future in tomorrow. Give us men with the strength of a god and the determination of a goddamn one. Is that too much to fucking ask? When does the black man get the dice to roll in his favor? Is that too much to ask? Hell, there would be no Labor Day if it wasn't black men in the damn fields doing all the goddamn labor. Is it too much to ask? How many times did we sacrifice our bodies, our souls, and even our very lives to pull the fucking country, the society, and our community forward? And we don't even get the thanks or the reverent respect that should have been given A1 day one. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Don't worry. One day I'm going to plan a rally in front of the Board of Education demanding proper education of our boys. I'm going to demand a rally where black men should be given undue respect. We need to act like it. We need to truly act like it. Black men in America should be teaming up with black men in the Caribbean and black men in the continent to start businesses, to start generational wealth, to start education, if need be, to start families. Not only are you your brother's keeper, you are also his shield, his sword, and his spear. You are at the flank and at the rear. You are at the front. There should be no way in hell when them shields connect that anybody should be able to get through us. Anybody should be able to distract us. Happy Veterans Day to you too as well, Philip, and happy Veterans Day to all my veterans. And you're right, AL. A Million Man Re-Education March is past due. Past due. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. Mark this day on your fucking calendar. Send this shit to whoever needs to hear it. But I'm tired. I'm going to be, like I said, this whole damn year, and I made this promise and kept it to chaos reign. Solution first. Solution-based work. I can't go off your theories. I got to go off your facts. If nobody's going to help us, then we're going to have to help ourselves. We're going to have to be the great thief of the knife. Excuse me, the great thief in the night. We're going to have to come up with our own solutions, our own plans. We are going to have to become the heroes of our narrative. We're going to have to pick up the ball and run even further than the silent generation, the greatest generation, the baby boomers, the Gen Xers. We're going to have to cultivate the Z's and the Alphas to be even greater than us, to have a fighting fucking chance. We're going to have to do something. If we don't stand together, we'll fall separately. To all my soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, spacemen, I guess that's what they call them, Coast Guards, you know exactly what the fuck I mean when I said if we don't stand together, we'll fall separately. You should coach Red Pill video. Yeah, this is part of that coaching. Trust me. If I got to do consultations for black men to progress, if I got to do consultations to get black men the kick in the ass they need, I'll do it. I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to support our own interests. We're going to have to do something drastic. We're going to do things that have never been done before. I refuse to go back to the ways that only breeds mediocrity, that only breeds obsolescence. We are great men and women. We just need to believe and know it's so. We need to be people of action and not people of asking. You don't ask anybody to respect you. You demand people to respect you. See, people think I'm arrogant because I demand respect. No, I've been through too much shit in my life not to be respected. I've done too much. Something is going to have to change, folks. I'm sorry. Like, share, subscribe, donate to the channel because a new era and a new day is coming. And it's going to come hard as hell, man. Yeah. Not because I want it to, because it has to. If I got to drill sergeant some motherfuckers to greatness, I'll do it. There should be no excuse. No excuse. Till then, folks, this is Charles Faulkner Jr. signing out. I'm going to be on one of these panels coming up. Art New Styles, BGS, whoever's up, I'll be there. Woo! Thank you and good night.